Alright guys, welcome back to another episode here on Grow the Earth. Before we get started with our video today, I want to invite you to go and visit my other media pages. If you're watching this on YouTube, we're also on Rumble, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, and I've also got a Facebook group. Now all these links are right here below me, and there are some things that if you're watching me on YouTube that you're not seeing if you're not visiting my other pages. Instagram, TikTok, and Rumble have all got extra videos that you're not seeing here. Also, if you are on Facebook, go join my Facebook page. We've got a bunch of different people there that can answer a bunch of questions for you. You know, you're able to actually have access to me directly to where you can ask me questions if you need to. And you can find all the information that you need to know to grow your garden better. So now let's get on with the video. Alright guys, today we're planting Brussels sprouts. Now, we actually haven't had a lot of luck with these, either because of planting too late in the season, or last year we didn't pull our leaves like we're supposed to, and it caused our actual Brussels sprout heads not to form correctly. So we're hoping this year we get everything right and we get the Brussels sprouts that we want, and hopefully we get to taste our own homegrown Brussels sprouts. Now, again, these are just like our cabbage, our broccoli, our cauliflower, and the fact that these are very small seeds, and we're not going to plant these very deep at all because we don't want to, we want them to germinate. And if they're planted too deep, that seed doesn't have enough energy in it to get up to the surface to start gathering its own energy, and it will actually die underneath the surface of the soil. So actually on the back of the package here it says a ½ an inch, but I don't think that I would plant anywhere near that. I would probably stick more to the ¼ of an inch for better germination. We've actually already marked out our bed here, marked out our planting spots anyway. And again, we're going to do the diagonal method because we can get more plants in a smaller area, because this thing says to plant these 2 foot apart. Well, we don't have that kind of room, and we want Brussels sprouts, and we know about what we can plant. Actually, in the previous years, we had them planted side by side, marching down the bed, and they had relatively enough room. This will actually give it more room. And we believe that we can do this spacing method and have great results. If following the back of your plant packages is your deal, then go for it. I'm not telling you what to do, but this is what we do. This is how we're going to plant, because we're trying to utilize our space as efficiently as we can. As I mentioned before, as we plant these, just like the broccoli, the cauliflower, and the cabbage, we need to make sure that this stays moist. Shade cloth, piece of plywood, whatever you can to keep the sun from baking the moisture out of your soil. It's going to help you out. It's going to make everything germinate better, and you're not going to waste as many seeds. Especially for you guys who are planting in smaller bed spaces than what we have here, and you're banking on the fact that you're going to have 1, 2, maybe 3 plants all come up and all make produce. You want to give them the best chance you can, because once you miss that window, you don't have enough time to go back and replant these. These are 100 to 110 days to fruit, and if you're, set one of those plants back 2 to 3 weeks, you've kind of missed your window, and you're probably into territory to where it's either going to freeze or, any number of other things that are not going to give you enough time to get your harvest off of it. So again, these are very small, just like our broccoli, our cauliflower, our cabbage. There's actually a number of seeds that are relatively small like this, and we're not going to plant these very deep at all. Again, once we plant these, we want to cover and give them a little pat down, because the enemy of germination is air. That little bit of air will actually spoil these seeds and give the fungus the ability to come in and rot the seed. So when we put these in here, we want to make sure that all that air is out. We're going to tuck them in real nice so that they can come out of their slumber, because seeds are basically, they're dormant at this point and they're waiting on moisture to bring them out. So we want to put that soil down there, give them a real nice pat down so that they get all snugged into that bed, and then we'll germinate. As I mentioned before, as these plants start to grow, you'll see that it's going to have one main stalk that comes up and your leaves are going to come off of it. Now, where those leaves come out, right at the base of them is where you're going to get your Brussels sprouts from. They're actually going to come off of that main stem right where that leaf comes out. There's going to be a little node there that's going to grow into your Brussels sprout. Well, when that guy starts to form, we've got to get that leaf out of the way, or otherwise what happens is it ends up opening up almost like a flower. This is a problem we had last year, that we never got any Brussels sprouts because we weren't pulling the leaves as aggressive as we should, and as that started to form, it wasn't forming a head like a small cabbage, it was actually forming into almost like a flower, which is where it's going to flower from, so it makes sense. Again, just like our broccoli, our cauliflower, when we go to water these guys, we want to water at the base of the plant. We do not want to water the leaves. We're just inviting in mold and mildew and a number of other things into our garden that is not going to help us out at all. You're going to have enough issues with that from it naturally raining and so forth. So we don't want to cause extra issues by watering incorrectly. We always want to water at the base of these plants, and that's going to give it the best chance to not have mold and mildew and all these other things. Another good thing about planting at this time of year is that it's going to allow our plants to go to full maturity without going to seed because it's not going to get hot enough. Another good thing about planting this time of year is any bugs, cabbage loopers. Cabbage loopers will come in and destroy Brussels sprouts just like they will cabbage. And at the fall and the winter time of year, they're not around, or they're in such low numbers, it's not going to affect you too much. All right, guys, well, one last note of encouragement here is I just want to let you guys know that even an experienced garden has an issue growing some plants, some vegetables. You know, we've planted these Brussels sprouts for 3 years and we've had mixed results. Some years have done better than others. Some of the years that we had a bad year was because of our own either lack of doing something or our timing issue or things like that. So if you're having trouble growing something, do some research. You know, watch some videos, you know, just don't give up on growing stuff because you're having a problem with it. You know, there are certain plants that we've tried to grow that we've probably killed more good plants than we have grown successfully out of in a certain year. And from that failure, we've learned what not to do. Because sometimes you've got to learn what not to do to learn what you can do, what you need to do correctly to get better results. You know, sometimes we've grown something and we've gotten mediocre results, and then we did some research and we found out, oh, well, if we would just do this one little thing, we would have gotten a lot better results. And I believe that that's, you know, part of the thing that has really increased the production of our garden. You know, the other main component of that is God. You know, us asking God to come into our garden, and us asking God to, you know, make our garden fruitful. And the fact that we share our fruitfulness with other people. You know, those are the things that have made our garden successful. Perseverance, you know, and especially putting God in your garden. And that is what is going to make you a good gardener. You know, you're never going to do, I wouldn't say never. You know, sometimes you're not going to do things right the first time. And you've got to learn, and you've got to, do different things. You may find that one tip out there that helps you grow something just wonderfully. And then you get to share that with others. So, guys, as always, persevere, continue to grow your garden. Don't get down on yourself because you can't grow a certain plant or a certain vegetable or a certain fruit. Continue to grow it and learn what not to do so that way you know what you need to do to make everything right. And as always, I ask you to pray over your family, pray over your garden, and have a great day.